So being young for me means being inexperienced, having the ability to make mistakes, to learn from them, and to do better in life.
It's like a way to have opportunities, to be able to do whatever I want, whenever I want, and be able to try as much as I can.
You just learn how to gauge situations. You learn what could be morally right or wrong for you personally. You learn what walk you want to take in your life. Being young is just all about learning what's next for you.
So, growing up, I am Guyanese Indian. So, of course, many of us were kind of born into the Hindu faith. My family, they're not that extreme into the Hinduism. Of course, like my grandma is, and some of my aunts. My parents, not so much. But, we still went and observed like the fasts, the festivals, all that kind of stuff. But as I got older, I started to become more religious rather than my parents.
I grew up in a non-denominational church. I feel like that really set my precedent for my understanding of life and just having morals and being righteous and being a good person. I feel like that was very important because, growing up, I saw a lot of questionable behavior just around me. And I believe because of my faith background, it gave me that, sense of consciousness to know what to and not to do, how would God feel if you were doing something like this? Like, yes, everybody else is doing it, but you know that at the end of the day, this is wrong.
Well, I did really start getting a little bit more religious when I was in high school, whenever my parents was going through a divorce. Because, not that many people that was around me had parents that was going through a divorce. And at that time, I felt like really alone. So I kind of turned to God. And then when I came to FSU, of course, I moved away 2.5 hours away from my mom. And then I'm in nursing school working a full-time job, trying to provide for myself. So that kind of made me feel a little bit more isolated compared to my friends in college that's out living their best life from partying and have no type of responsibilities. So it kind of drove me more to want to have that strengthened relationship with God and to, try to find myself more as well.
I feel like at the age I'm at, there are certain things that I'm expected to do. Like I said, the drinking, the sex, being belligerent, being wild. I feel like I've kind of like not outgrown that all the way, but just elevated past certain things. So it's hard for me to like maintain my being sometimes while being this age, unless I like isolate myself. Because not too many people want to do things that kid like. Not too many people want to say, "Hey, let's go pray, let's go read together, let's go, go outside and do some charity." Like people not thinking like that at my age. So it's just you got to be strong within yourself, is what I realized, and dedicated to your faith.
It's hard because college students, we're on our own. We don't have our parents. We just have God to help us. And of course, sometimes it's hard because God isn't whispering in my ear, don't do that, don't do that. God gives you the little signs. And sometimes we get those red flags and we want to ignore it.
I'm not supposed to be drinking because of my religion, but like when you're young, it's like you turn 21, baby, you taking shots back and forth, So it's like trying to find that healthy filter between um like I want to go out and drink because I want to have fun. Like I'm 22, I can do it, but I am Muslim and I do know like it's wrong for me to be doing so. And even for example, I'm thinking about getting another piercing, like a septum piercing, but I'm really conflicted because you're not supposed to be putting holes in your body. So um, like I want to get the piercing, but I feel like because it's not the right thing for me to be doing, I'm probably not gonna get the piercing. So it's like I want to live my life, I want to have fun, I want something new, but I know that there's like a hereafter, so what I do here matters about where I will be in the hereafter. So it's just gauging between that in my head.
It's a mental struggle. It's all mental to me, honestly. Not so much the physical, but it's more mental. Because people don't understand, especially when you're first generation coming to college, it takes a big toll on you. Because you don't have that mom and dad who graduated that can help you with your classes or help you figure out how to get scholarships or how to maneuver. Everything is you gotta teach yourself, and you gotta teach yourself real quick. So trying to be religious and like express it in college, it takes mental strength to want to do that. especially when you have others that don't understand you in your religion.
I'm more critical on myself now versus then. Like when I was still Christian, I was still drinking, having sex, all types of like illicit activities. Versus now it's like because I understand the level of accountability that's given upon me from the context of the Quran, I have to do better. So he just like made me just more passionate in my beliefs.
Just when you do wrong, but you know you should be doing right, or like when you just know that you can do better, um, as a person, and just for yourself and with spirituality and your everyday deeds and all this type of stuff. Like it's like okay, you know you can do better, but why aren't you not doing better? And it's like it goes back to like the point of all of this because it's like I want to have fun, like I want to enjoy myself, but why do I have to take shots to enjoy myself, or why do I have to sit here and wear a half top and some shorts to feel like a fine babe? Like why can't I wear something fully covered and it's not feel like a fine babe still, So I think it just has to do with a lot of what I see around me and things sort of that nature. So I get into my head and I kind of like double think or overthink what I should be doing and all this type of stuff. So
I would say for me, it doesn't. Like anytime I travel somewhere, I always try to find a mosque nearby. Like that helps me counteract that. If I plug myself in with people and just in that environment, it helps me stay grounded. I notice that when I step away from the faith, like if I don't read, if I don't pray, I tend to fall back into the world. So just as a precaution, I'll keep a Quran in the car. I keep a prayer mat in my car. Like if I just need a quick, hey God, man, it's hard out here, bro. Like she look good. I'm trying to talk to her. Like help me out real quick. Like just keep myself motivated and reinforced.
Okay, so yeah, I have a lot of elephants. Ganesh, he is the lord of removal of obstacles. So I pray to Ganesh a lot because I feel like being in college with all these temptations, wanting to go and party, wanting to hang out with my friends. Like I said, on Mondays and Wednesdays I fast for God. So I pick a different God, and like today's Monday, so I'm fasting for Lord Krishna. Then Wednesday, oh no, I'm fasting for Lord Shiva. I'm sorry, I'm fasting for Lord Shiva on Monday, and then Wednesdays I fast for Lord Krishna. So for me, having that temptation not to go out with my friends and eat a bunch of meat, like that's a little hard for me. So of course, I'll pray to Ganesh, I'll pray to everybody, and just have him like remove that temptation out of my life. And like sometimes when you have a test, you don't want to study and you just want to go out and party or just go out and do whatever, I pray to Ganesh. I'm like, please, Lord Ganesh, just help me. Just help me. Like, remove all the temptations and remove all the negativity out of my mind, too, and all the laziness. Because being in college, you get to a certain point, we just lose all that motivation.
I have to remember, like for me, it's just my moral compass, my conscience. Like, bro, why are you here first and foremost? Well, I'm here for a good time. I'm here trying to hang out. You need that lick to do that, and then it's like, no, I really don't. All right, so you feel like this is a temptation. How do you handle that? Like, I literally talked myself through it. I like, all right, maybe I should just go stand outside. Let me just go find somebody to talk to who isn't drinking. That way, I won't really be tempted to do it. So it's just like trying to find whatever mind game that works for you.
like if I don't see that people are following by like a religion and stuff like that, and like they're doing all this type of stuff, and I'm just like, oh shoot, like I want to do by them, but it's also like it's always something in the back of my head that tells me, come on Kisu, this isn't right, or so I just end up not really following the lead of it.
Not a lot of people see the world the way I see it, so sometimes that's like really depressing. So instead of like me trying to talk to somebody knowing that this ain't gonna go nowhere, I just keep to myself. I feel like spirituality is an important part of existence that we don't focus on. Whether you're Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Jew, agnostic, like I feel like you understanding that you are part of a greater whole is important. That everything you do will later on in life come back and affect you. I feel like it's important too. So I believe we all should just strive to live an honest life. Like whatever you call yourself, just live a good, honest, and righteous life. And I feel like the world will turn out the way it's supposed to be at the end of the day.